and moral teachings.
Do you think that the fetus should be afforded the same rights and protections as any other human being?
I think I just said that from the moment of conception, that entity is a human life and should be considered a person under the Constitution. We should not differentiate based upon a stage of life of development, or on the opposite end, because someone is disabled or someone is critically ill. We should not consider them less of a person and less afforded constitutional protections.
If a woman plans an abortion and performs the abortion, what criminal penalty should she receive?
None. I see a woman as a victim in the issue of abortion, not the perpetrator of the crime. That the person who's involved in the purveying of abortions and the marketing of abortions and providing those abortions should be subject to legal ramifications, whether it's licensure issues for a physician or whether it's criminal penalties. We certainly can we can certainly negotiate on what those are, but there needs to be penalties to those who provide abortions and take a human life.
But hasn't the woman committed a murder if the fetus is afforded the same rights and protections as any other human being?
Again, my feeling is just because something, in this case, is a grave moral wrong, I think there are extenuating circumstances in the case of a woman who puts herself in that situation, and it's obviously a difficult situation, and the person who's providing the service is the one who's actually killing the child. And so as a result of that, my feeling is that's where the penalty should lie.
So even though she has killed a human being, she should go off, she should get scot-free.
The person that killed.
Well, suppose she did it herself. Let's say with a hanger, like they used to do sometimes. You perform an auto abortion by herself, and she planned it.
I have to look at cases like that. Obviously, that's a tragic situation. But I think the general consensus that I would try to arrive upon is that the person providing the abortion should be the one to suffer the penalties.
Okay, so if she did it herself, she should go to.
Like I said, I'm not really comfortable at this point saying whether that person should be charged with criminal penalties or not. I would say that a third party performing an abortion is the one that should be subject to criminal penalties.
Well, here in America, mostly when somebody commits a murder, they get like 20 years or life, at least 20 years. And if she commits abortion herself, she's not going to go to jail?
This is a great discussion to have when we have the situation in this country where abortion is outlawed. I'm not too sure it's necessarily a fruitful discussion to have at this point in time, given the fact that abortion on demand is legal up until every point. So I think we're arguing at this point about a very narrow issue where I think people of goodwill can disagree, and I think we'll just leave that as a discussion at this point.
Okay, well, previously it was illegal, right? And the women did go to jail and did suffer criminal penalties. Do you think that we should go back to that situation, or you don't think so?
I think I've been pretty clear about that.
Okay, so basically you think that if the woman commits an abortion herself, that she shouldn't go to jail? Or
I've said that now 4 times, so
I'll
say it again.
So, but that's kind of perplexing because for other murderers, we send them to prison for 20 years. There seems to be some incongruity. What's the reason why one murderer of a human being goes to jail for 20 years and another murderer of a human being doesn't go to jail?
My conviction is that the women, in the case of an abortion, at this point, where a third party is involved, which is, you can imagine, would be the dominant area where we would be concerned with, is a victim in that case, and that the person who's perpetrating the abortion is the one who's committing the crime. In the case of a woman doing it to herself, it's a much more difficult situation. Again, I'm not saying I would or wouldn't. I'm just saying at this point, that's not where I'm going to be focused.
Okay. You are a proponent of DOMA, right? So that means that the Defense of Marriage Act, which means that only people of opposite sex could get married. So if people are in the same sex, it would be illegal for them to be married, right? Is that correct? Can people of the same sex get married under the DOMA Act?
People of the same sex get married? No, that's the whole purpose.
No, they cannot. Right. So, what is the reason why these people should not be able to get married? I think you've said before that it destroys the institution of marriage. And what I'd like to get at is, how does it affect, for example, your personal marriage if these two gay couples want to have a family and they...
Because you change the definition of what marriage is. Marriage is a concept, like this is a pen.
Right.
And we can say, well, this is not a pen, it's a shoe. Uh-huh. Well, no, it's not a shoe. A pen has certain qualities and certain characteristics that make it what it is. And the qualities and characteristics that make marriage what it is the unity, a natural unity between a man and a woman, as God created men and women, for the purpose of forming a bond as God created those bonds and as reason dictates, as nature explicitly dictates, and not dictates, but evidences that man and women, male and female, of all species come together for the purposes of having children, and in the case of men and women, raising those children in the best possible way. And when you try to redefine, you destroy that entity, and you make it less by including things that aren't, and result in, which I think is pretty logical and reasonable, less people getting married, marriage having less significance.
Less people
society.
would get married. I thought more people would get married because then the gay couples could get married. Now they can't.
Yeah, well,
or they can't. They can't under the DOMA.
Heterosexual couples don't get married because marriage becomes a devalued institution where it has no significance and no meaning for society. You know, laws reflect reality and meaning, and in the case of marriage, they do.
So if the lesbians are permitted to get married, then you think that the other people would not want to get married?
In fact, in places where same-sex marriage, it's a reasonable assumption to make, and in fact, it has been proven out that where marriage laws have been changed, out-of-wedlock birth rates go dramatically up. People either don't marry or delay in getting married. The institution of marriage becomes, again, less valuable as an institution, and therefore you get less of it. Thank you. You told me 5 minutes. So
I want to ask you one quick question. But you didn't answer this. I just want to know how it affects your marriage.
I told you I'd give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
I've given you 10.
But
so thank you.
How would it affect your marriage if they get...
I think if you value the institution, it affects
But it affects your marriage too?
Absolutely. Thanks.